How we doing there, boys and girls? Manthis here, and welcome back to another video. So, we're kind of in this weird downtime right now. Patch 9.0.5 is basically long and gone, and let's be fair here, it didn't really bring any content with it at all anyway. It kind of brought a nice little upsurge to some consumables, to the legendary market for a little period of time, but for the majority of people now, we are very much in just waiting mode. We're sat around, we're waiting for patch 9.1, and we're trying to work out how to keep ourselves busy. This is a cool opportunity for us though, and this is what I want to talk about for a few minutes today, is that it's in these kind of downtime zones where you can do some expanding, and you can try some things and you can test some things out, and time is on your side. This is not always the case with goal making. Often you can find that you will, things are very split second, the price of something can change instantly and you're thrown into turmoil. Usually you're having to be quite reactive to what's going on, but now we've got time on our side, which is a good advantage for us. At least in the sort of the auction house play, flipping, sort of crafting scene anyway. If you're farming, it's pretty casual for the most part at all times. But so, what I decided to do was set myself up on a new realm. I've pretty much dominated my home realm as much as I feel I would like to. I've got a good sizable amount of gold on my home realm, and I was kind of feeling like I was just repeating the same process. There wasn't much room for expansion left on my current realm. This is for a couple of reasons. For those who are new to the channel, or maybe don't get the option to watch the live streams, my home server is Sylvanas EU. This is it's technically considered a high population server, but the quantity of people is definitely diminishing over time. This was once the home of some really big raiding guilds who have since moved on to other things. This has meant that there are probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 sort of relatively active goblins on my home realm, and it's nice to feel like a big fish in a kind of a medium pond. You know, you don't have to do outrageous things to see some good results. Yes, the cancel scan meta is still there. You have to do some cancel scanning to get those sales, but for the most part, there's a reasonable amount of materials available, and the prices for crafted items stay somewhat reasonable. Rarely do you get into this horrible situation where just everything is, or at least everything appears to be under minimum profit, or under the cost to produce it, should I say. So what did I want to do? I wanted to move to one of these super populated realms. One of the most frequent things I get sort of thrown at me when I try and offer some sort of goal making hints and tips and advice on how to proceed with your journey is that, oh, well, that just doesn't work on my realm. So I wanted to see this firsthand. It's been a long time since I've played on one of these mega population servers, and so we chose, as you can see up in the screen there, we chose Torin Mill. Torin Mill now, although it's not the largest EU server, it is not far off. It is home to some very large raiding guilds right now, has an extreme population. It is probably top 3 for most populated servers in the EU. It is Horde. It's dominated by Horde, which is another bonus for me, as I've not actually had a max level Horde character for probably, I want to say, since Mr. Pandaria. It's been a long time since I've actively played Horde, so this was an option to sort of see the other side of the world as well. Trying to navigate around Orgrimmar was interesting, I'll say that for a fact, but I wanted to talk, let's get into the meat and veg of this video, of what I actually did to proceed with doing this, what were the teething issues I went through, and how can you approach this. And what I want to really try and do is explain the mindset of what I went through when I made some of these decisions, because they're not always completely obvious. But firstly, we had to get some presence on Torin Mill, so that's what we did. We made ourselves a bank character, because everybody needs a bank character, right? And we managed to get him, well, at the moment he's currently sat in Bastion, but for the most part he just lived in Orgrimmar. We'll explain why he's in Bastion in a minute. And then we leveled a druid. I had some intentions of doing this on a relatively slow and steady basis, And I thought, well, if I'm going to have to get some liquid gold on this main realm, I'm going to need a class that's going to be able to do some farming, and I want to be able to do it effectively. Now, I've played a druid for many years. I kind of know the class reasonably well. I'm by no means a pro at a druid in any way, shape or form, but I'm at least comfortable with all 4 specs of the druid, meaning that if I need to switch between specs to do a certain activity, it's no bother to me. We started leveling up a while ago. This druid was made a month or 2 ago, before patch 9.0.5 landed. But we started leveling this druid. We leveled it normally. We didn't boost this character, although we will talk about boosts and how they can be very advantageous for when you're trying to expand to new realms. This dude, we leveled him up slowly. I'll see if I can throw some footage in the background of this from the past if I've got some. But we leveled this dude up pretty slowly. He got to level 50. We instantly gave him skinning, and he went out and he started skinning. Now, we didn't do skinning all the way up to 60 because I just wanted to get to 60 fast. The one reason I wanted to get to 60 fast is very simple and very straightforward. My goal for this big server, my end goal is obviously to make a boatload of cash. Why wouldn't you want that to be your end goal? But how I get there is relatively simple. Whilst legendaries are still a big thing, there is no way, shape or form I am not crafting and selling legendaries. So I wanted to get the ball rolling straight away with this if I could. Leveling up the ranks of your legendaries, as I say to many people, is a time-consuming process. Unless you have millions of gold to throw at it to just craft everything and then be comfortable waiting on making lots and lots of sales to recuperate that gold, you have to take it slowly with legendaries. You have to craft a few, sell a few, craft a few more, sell a few more. So we got to 60 first and foremost. Yesterday we bashed out level 60. We dinged 60 at the beginning of yesterday's stream. The very first thing we did was the introductory quests to go and meet the rune carver. Now that fella, you have to do the intro quests with him before he'll give you the legendary recipes. We got those, we leveled up our leatherworking, and we were off to the races, right? Now there was a significant problem with all of this though. We didn't have any gold. When you don't have a lot of gold, then it's very difficult to start crafting legendaries, especially leatherworking legendaries. These things are not cheap to craft. Even at the low end, you're looking at sort of 4,000-5,000 gold per craft in some cases, even with good prices. The advantageous nature of being Horde meant that we were able to get our arboreal shards nice and cheap. This was all gravy. This is actually why our bank character, which I mentioned earlier, you may have noticed, he's only level 10, but he's in Bastion. Yes, we sneakied him over to... Where did we get him to? What's the name of the place? I can never remember. The place smack bang in the middle. Heroes Rest. We got him ported over to Heroes Rest. I recruited the assistance of a couple of viewers from the stream. We got him a teleport over to Heroes Rest for one simple reason. He's a goblin. He gets maximum vendor discount instantly. You can buy arboreal shards from the vendor in Heroes Rest. So instantly I unlocked the ability to get my arboreal shards for only 100 gold apiece. This is crucial because any little saving you can make when you don't have a lot of gold is key. So we kind of got ourselves set up in a fundamental way, but we still had one humongous difficulty of that we just didn't have any gold to craft anything with. Now this is where I'm going to talk about something that is only going to be feasible to a few people, but if you are at the point where you've made a small fortune on your home realm, it is entirely possible for you to do this, even though it is somewhat costly. So let's talk about how I got myself some gold on this realm. We did manage to get close to 500,000 gold on this realm very, very quickly. And to most it will seem to be a controversial way, but to me it was the absolute logical way of doing it, right? On my home realm, back on Sylvanas, we went to the auction house. We bought some tokens. We bought 3 tokens. In the EU, you can buy the tokens. They're currently valued at about 230,000 gold apiece, give or take. By the time you watch this video, it might have completely changed, who knows. But 230,000 gold for each token. We bought 3 of them. So do some quick maths on that. That's about 700,000 gold. So we spent about 700,000 gold on our home realm, the realm where we've made a bunch of gold already. We turned those tokens into Blizzard balance. 3 tokens in the EU, in terms of Blizzard balance, is the equivalent of 39 euros. Let's just assume I had €1 already on my Blizzard balance, which I did. But on this realm, then what we did is we went to the shop, and we bought ourselves, using that Blizzard balance, we bought ourselves 2 tokens. So there was a transactional loss, right? For me to and those tokens, should I say, when you buy them using actual Blizzard balance, you then sell them on the auction house for the gold value stated. So I basically was able to take 3 tokens off my main realm, buy 2 tokens on the new realm, so there was basically the loss of value of an entire token's worth of gold. Now this surprises some people and scares others, but I considered it just, a cost of doing business, should we say. I didn't want to have to grind that gold, because let's look at the alternative options for me. I could have bought pets on my home realm, and I could have tried to sell pets on this new realm. There's a problem with that though, right? I'm moving to a higher population realm. The likelihood that I'm going to be able to buy pets cheap and sell them for more, basically non-existent. Could I buy pets at a price and sell them for the same price? Probably, but what if it takes me a week to sell those pets? Am I going to buy pets at one price and then sell them at a deep undercut to try and incentivize a quick sale? That was most likely the route that I was going to have to take if I wanted that gold quickly. And it resulted in the fact that it was probably just more beneficial for me to buy the 3 tokens, turn them into 2 on the new realm. If you don't have a huge stockpile of gold available to you on your main realm, or you're not comfortable in the fact that you basically you lose 50, like I bought 3 tokens and only ended up with 2, that instantly, it basically cost me 200,000 gold to do the transaction. You could go out and farm. You could absolutely go out and farm, and that was something I did consider at the beginning. But time is money, and I'd already made that gold in one place. It seemed sensible to me to do a small conversion to get some gold over here anyway. So enough about how I got some gold. In reality, I did get some gold, and I started putting it to work, doing some crafting. Now, turnover is king when you are brand new on a server and you're trying to just increase your total amount of gold. Turnover is absolutely king. So you'll also notice, that we picked up enchanting. Enchanting was the second profession I went with, and I would say this is probably only a temporary situation, but enchanting and leveling enchanting is almost free. It is so cheap to do nowadays. I'm fortunate the fact that eternal crystals are basically 100 gold a piece. I think the cost of leveling enchanting was maybe 5,000 to 6,000 gold. It was super cheap. Super cheap. I just power leveled enchanting in about 15 minutes. It was really no bother whatsoever to get it done. I mean, in theory, you hit 60, do a few callings, and then you've probably got enough gold to maximize enchanting. So the reason we went with enchanting is very simple. If I want to be crafting legendaries in any way, shape or form, we need access to these 3 materials here: the enchanted Aletheian bar, the enchanted heavy callous hide, and the enchanted lightless silk. It was pointed out to me, and it's entirely a thing, and this is why I say that enchanting is maybe only a temporary solution on my main character here, is that you can get access to these at level 48. You don't need a max level character to do this. But for me, as it stands right now, I've only got that 1 max level toon on that realm, so I have to kind of squish everything into the 1 character. there is a strong possibility that if things get going nicely on Tor and Mill, that we will level up or even buy a couple of boosts once we start really seeing the gold come through. We'll get another couple of characters up to at least level 50. That will mean that the professions like, say, alchemy, inscription, if we want to do some Dark Moon cards, and enchanting, they're the kind of professions that you don't actually realistically, you don't really need them on a level 60. You can do 90% of what you need that profession for at level 48 even. So eventually this level 60 character will probably pick up a second legendary profession, but I've got my work cut out with me for leatherworking so far. But let's talk about instant gratification results. Yes, on my second account, on my auctioning account, we made ourselves a bank character. We got him through we got him through Exile's Reach. We got him into Orgrimmar. Now, I know before the comments fly in, Orgrimmar is not the best place to be doing your auction house activities. No, although there is everything available to you. There's loads of people. The zone runs really slowly. Yes, I should probably be in Booty Bay. There's many reasons why I haven't done as of yet. But we'll talk about those in a second. So, I started crafting. I only made a small amount of legendaries. People can see here, if we look at leatherworking, the actual amount of legendaries I crafted maybe 5 or 6 of each of the rank 1s for Umbra Hide. I'm about halfway to unlocking rank 2 on most of them. Now this was just theoretic. This was me just crafting a bunch, so I had a bunch available. That's where that first 500,000 gold basically went. I sunk most of it into crafting a whole bunch of rank 1s. Now, I will not make profit on this. Let me clarify. I will not make gold on doing this. This is just a means to an end. I need to sell these rank 1s as fast as I can to get as much of that gold back as I can, so I can dump it straight back in and get the experience. I'm all about gaining these little 5 experience points every time I do a craft right now. I don't really care about the actual amount of gold I get for them. I just need to get these experience points as cheaply and as quickly as I can. The sooner I can get out of rank 1 and into rank 2 and 3 and 4 even, the better, right? We can probably even take a little look at Legendary Stock Tracker. Legendary Stock Tracker is now being upgraded recently so that it provides you more accurate costs to the base legendary items. I'm not going to go into the details how it does it in this video, but just trust me, it's very, very accurate. Considerably more accurate than TSM would be. And so what you can see is the rank 1s for the most part. In fact, as it currently stands, there are literally 2 rank 1 legendaries that are even in the green. Everything is in the red. I do not expect to make any gold selling these, but every time I craft one and sell one, it's maybe going to cost me 1,000 gold. That means for me to craft and sell 15 of them to unlock rank 2, I'm losing 15,000 gold doing that. But I just want to do that process fast. If I can just, the faster I can do it, the faster I can get to these ones where you start to see a little bit of profit. The faster I can work my way through the rank 2s, I can get to the rank 3s, and then eventually one day, hopefully in the future, preferably before 9.1, we'll get to the rank 4s, and then that's where we'll actually start to see our gold value really start to explode. But we have to deal, like focusing heavily on turnover is really crucial. You will see there is the Bone Shattered Treads. We took a punt. I was like, right, if I'm gonna rank anything up quickly to start with, I'm gonna go with something that I absolutely categorically know is valuable right now. Okay, so the Bone Shattered Treads. We know Bone Shattered Treads are popping off. I decided to power them up to rank 2, craft a bunch of the rank 2s as well. So we're not far from unlocking rank 3 on those, and I have already sold a couple of them. Not many, but we have sold a couple. But I teased a little bit earlier. Let's take a look at what we were actually doing and selling on the auction house. I've not checked this character this morning, so this is completely fresh for me. We've got about 100k worth of items listed. We're down to only 38,000 gold. I'll show you my my TSM ledger in a minute so you can see exactly what we've been buying and selling. But even overnight, we've had a bunch of the enchants that whilst we leveled enchanting, it made perfect sense for me to bang out a whole bunch of enchants at the same time. Enchants are so ludicrously cheap nowadays that you're never going to make a lot of profit on them, but you might as well be selling them as like filler content. If you make 3 gold every time you sell an enchant, over time that's going to add up. And we need to be making some profit somewhere to hopefully cover some of the losses we're inevitably going to be taking by selling off some of the 190s for cheap. We also got into drums. Like you've just got to extract every single drop of possibility out of the professions. Today I will probably go out and try and get the rep I need on a couple of factions to get the heavy desolate armor kits, because I know those sell really well. We have actually been both crafting and selling some desolate armor kits. At the moment they appear to have expired, but yeah, drums are doing well for us. We sold a fair quantity of legendaries yesterday. Not a huge amount, but some. Some is better than none, right? This 64,000 gold that we've made in sales, plus the 38 we have in our bags, will just get thrown straight back into crafting more and selling more. The quicker we can turn them over, the better position we'll be in. So there's not really much more to say on that, boys and girls. This is how I've been sort of strong-arming my way into a new realm. In terms of timescale of how long this took to do, I would say that there's obviously the time element of leveling the character. You can circumvent that by buying a boost. If you don't want to level another, well, you've got to remember that a boost only takes you to 50, but that is in theory saving you somewhere in the region of about 8 to 12 hours through regular play. You've then got another default non-optional 8 to 12 hours to get from 50 to 60. Those are just rough numbers for you. You can get to 50 by either, you know, spending some gold, buying a boost is a possibility for you, but it is an expensive option. Or level up that one character to 60 so you can pick up some professions and start doing some endgame stuff. If you have some gold on your home realm and you're not too concerned with the kind of the transaction cost that comes with it by turning it into Blizzard balance and then from balance to tokens, you can do that to get yourself a big chunk of change on a new realm to begin with. Without question, the first 1,000,000 gold you farm up and acquire is the absolute hardest to get your hands on. So if you've already done that and you've already turned that 1 million into 3 million, that 3 million into 5 million, that 5 million into 10 million on your home realm, having it sat in your bags on another realm is not doing anything for you. You might as well put it to work and give you the ability to expand to other realms. So if you've got any questions on the process, boys and girls, make sure you leave them down below in the comments. I will be continuing with this process on Tauren Mill slowly but surely, and I'll give you hopefully slightly shorter, slightly more concise updates to how we've been going about with it. But we will be doing this for the most part on the stream as well, so make sure you check out twitch.tv/Manthius. We stream Monday through till Friday. Usually sort of 11 AM to about 3 PM Central European summertime. Basically, I live in Finland. You can probably work it out based on that. But there we go, boys and girls. I'll leave it there for today. It's a slightly longer video. I appreciate if you made it this way. Remember to give the video a thumbs up. And I'll speak to you guys next time.